Hey there and welcome. Today, we're going to unlock one of the most powerful tools you can have in English. We're going to move beyond those simple yes or no answers and start having real, detailed conversations.
So let me ask you this. Are you learning English? I'm pretty sure I know the answer. It's yes, right? It's a simple question, and you give a simple answer.
But here's the thing. Yes and no answers are, well, they're a little boring, aren't they? Real conversations, the fun ones, they're all about the details. And today, we're going to figure out exactly how to get those details.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll see exactly why these questions are so important. Then, we're going to meet the essential question words. After that, I'm going to show you a golden rule to build perfect questions every single time. And finally, we'll cover some important details and a few common mistakes to avoid. Sound good? Let's get started.
Okay, let's dive right in. The very first big step to level up your English is to break free from questions that only get you a yes or a no. We want to ask questions that get us a real story, you know?
I mean, just look at this. It's amazing what one little word can do. On the left, do you live in Spain? The answer is just yes. End of conversation, maybe. But on the right, just by adding that one word, where, suddenly the door swings wide open to a real answer. I live in Madrid. That's the power we're tapping into today.
All right, so how do we make this happen? Well, we start with our trusty toolbox. These words right here are the building blocks, the foundation for pretty much every information question you're ever going to ask.
Okay, these are your absolute essentials. Want to know about a person? You're going to use who. Interested in a thing or an action? That's what. For a place or a location, you'll need where. Need to know the time or a date? Ask when. If you need a reason for something, you ask why. And finally, if you want to know the way something is done or how someone feels, you'll use how. Pretty straightforward, right?
All right, so you've got the words. Now, how do you put them together? Well, lucky for you, there is a super simple, kind of secret formula that works almost every single time. It's fantastic. And we call it the quasi formula. That's Q-U-A-S-I. Seriously, this is going to be your new best friend. It stands for question word, that's first, then the auxiliary verb, that's a helper word like do or does, then the subject of the sentence, and finally, the main infinitive verb. Let's see how it looks in real life. And check this out. You can see the formula in action right here. Where do you live? We've got our question word where, our auxiliary do, the subject you, and the infinitive live. It's this perfect, beautiful pattern that just works. What does she eat? When did they arrive? See? The structure is always the same. It's so reliable.
So really, when you boil it all down, the rule is ridiculously simple. You just take a normal yes-no question, like, do you live here? And you pop that powerful WH word right at the very beginning. That's it.
Now, like with any good rule in English, there's one little exception to watch out for. It's the verb to be. You know, words like is and are. This verb is kind of special. It's a strong verb, so it doesn't need a little helper like do or does. For these questions, you just put the question word first, then is or are, and then the subject. Like, where is the bathroom? Or, why are you angry? No do needed.
Awesome. You've totally got the main idea down. Now let's add a few little tricks to the mix that will help you sound even more natural, even more like a native speaker.
Okay, so the word how is like a Swiss Army knife. It's super flexible. You can combine it with other words to ask for really specific stuff. You can say how old to ask for age, how often to ask about frequency. Use how much for a price and how many for a number you can count. These little phrases are absolute gold in everyday conversations. Okay, this next one is a small detail, but man, is it important. There's a difference between when and what time. If you ask, when is the concert, you might get a general answer, like on Friday. But if you need the exact time on the clock, you've got to ask, what time does it start? That way, you get the precise info you need. All right, pop quiz. Someone comes up to you and asks you a question that starts with why. What's the one magic word you should probably use to start your answer?
You guessed it. It's because. They're a perfect pair like peanut butter and jelly. Why asks for the reason, and because gives the reason. Why are you leaving? Because I am tired. It's as simple as that.
Okay, we're in the home stretch. Before we wrap up, let's do a quick safety check and look at a couple of super common mistakes that are so easy to fix once you know what to look for. Okay, mistake number 1, and this one is huge. Please, please, please don't forget that little helper verb, the auxiliary. It's never where you go. It has to be where do you go. That little word do is what makes the question work.
And mistake number 2 is kind of related. You never want to use do and the verb to be in the same question. They don't play well together. Remember, are is a strong verb. It doesn't need any help. So you just say, why are you happy?
And our last one for today. This is a classic mix-up, confusing who and how. Who are you is asking for a name and identity. My name is Maria. But how are you is asking about your feeling, your health. I am fine, thanks. They sound similar, but they mean totally different things.
So let's boil this all down into 3 simple steps. Step 1, pick your question word. What, where, when, whatever you need to know. Step 2, build your question using that golden quasi formula. And step 3, the most important one of all, get out there and start asking questions. Start having those real conversations. Look, you now have the key to unlock so much more of the English language. You can get real information, have deeper conversations, and connect with people. So the only question left is, what do you want to know?